Welcome to another Act 4 Media Review. My name is Gabriel, and again, I am joined with the lovely Jetz.
Hello. What's up?
She's back.
I'm back.
And today, we're reviewing Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Hell yeah.
Now, we're going to have a spoiler-free talk in the beginning, maybe like 2-3 minutes, and then we're going into spoilers, baby.
Yes, sir.
And there is something to spoil. One thing that's really big. So if you don't give a shit about spoilers and you're here just to support us, at least stick around for the first minute or two of a spoiler discussion. But of course, some promotion. We're a brand new channel. We need you to like. We need you to subscribe. We need you to share.
What?
Oh, we didn't do it this time.
I know, I'm sorry.
We need you to like.
What?
Subscribe.
What?
Share.
What?
With all your friends.
What?
And what else? We got audio versions of all of our video, podcasts, reviews.
Spotify, YouTube.
If you're listening to audio, we got video versions of everything. Go check out on YouTube. Links, everything's in the description. Now, Jetsabel, what did you think about Transformers: Rise of the Beasts?
Well, this was a huge... Well, I mean, I would say Bumblebee was a huge step up from the Michael Bay movies.
Okay.
But I want to say that they keep getting better. They keep getting better. And I appreciate that so much because Transformers, the first... I guess you would call it the generation, right? The Michael Bay generation?
Era. You had like, what, 10 years?
Yeah. I mean...
The Linkin Park era. That's what we'll call it.
Yes, the Linkin Park era.
Well, the Linkin Park era, which are the first three, and then we have the Mark Wahlberg era.
Oh.
I guess you call it Shia LaBeouf versus Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah. But then what would you call this new era?
I'm forgetting the director's name, but
okay.
His era.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, he's doing a great job with these movies because, like, I kind of want to see this. I'm like...
I want to see what's coming next.
I want to see what's coming next, and I'm honestly down to rewatch this again. Because,
really?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. Like, you know, I do have my cons about it. I will say there are some, like, weird lines that are thrown. Not weird lines, but the way they were spoken, I guess, if that's the right word.
You talking about Pete Davidson?
No, not even him. There's like some certain lines that were just like the direction I guess they were given to say. But like
the comedic lines, or
not even the comedic lines.
Wow. Okay.
There's this one line that I think we'll talk about, I guess, in spoiler section.
Okay.
From one of our leads that I thought was very like, okay, cool. It was just like on to the next thing already.
Okay.
Other than that, you know, still a great movie, like great characters, interesting plot, crazy ending. Overall, I will say I think you should check it out if you liked, or if you ever cared about Transformers. And if you are were upset that Michael Bay completely just
shit on them.
I mean, to be honest, we did like them when they came out, but
yeah, but we were younger.
They didn't age
young
well.
and dumb.
Yeah, there was just a bunch of fart jokes. But anyways,
and
racism that we didn't realize. But on to the next thing. What did you think of it?
I am actually a little disappointed.
What?
Because this one actually looked really good from the trailer. Like, I can say the trailer better than the movie. You sometimes get that with movies where the trailer gets you so hyped. Well, I thought this one was going to be really good because Bumblebee was really good.
Yeah. And
I remember really liking it. Like, I remember saying it was the best Transformers movie. So going into this one, like a full-on Transformers movie with everybody back, well, at least Optimus Prime, but like, you know, a big threat. It's a team versus team. Mm-hmm. I was expecting a little bit more. And ultimately, I'm a little disappointed. The Maximals are barely in it.
Yeah.
They're barely in it. It reminds me of the Michael Bay one, like the really bad Michael Bay ones, The Age of Extinction with the dinosaurs, where you're waiting the whole movie and they're only in it at the end. God. It kind of reminded me of that, except for the bird one. What's her name? Air-Razor? Sky-Razor?
I think it is Air-Razor. Yeah, Air-Razor.
Air-Razor. Okay. She had a little more to do. I think it was played by Michelle Yeoh, too.
Yes, it is.
That's crazy.
She's
so misused.
She's getting her bag.
Yeah, for real. She's getting paid.
Good for her.
I did think that Pete Davidson was a little too much. I thought some of his lines hit and were actually funny, but they were just throwing so much of him at you.
Yeah, it was a little too much at times, I will say that. At first, I did really like him, but it was when I realized, oh, that's Pete Davidson. I think it was after that when it started.
You just kept hearing Pete Davidson.
Yeah. So
I do like having the protagonist Autobot, like the friend, because normally it's Bumblebee. He doesn't really say much, and that's his quirk, that's his thing. But if you're gonna be, and it worked in Bumblebee, but if you're supposed to have a relationship with the main character, like the human character, it is nice having Mirage talk to him, and they do have a relationship that I think kind of works. I wasn't all the way sold. Like, by the time we get to certain things later on in the movie, like emotional beats, it kind of worked, but it didn't hit the way I wanted it to hit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can agree with you on that.
I think overall the story, kind of, it's straightforward. There weren't too many twists and turns. There's a MacGuffin, like something they have to do, and then that, won't spoil that. But overall, like the whole story, I'm just waiting to get to that final scene. I wanted to be interested in it, but I was just like, all right, let's get to that final battle that we saw in the trailer. And that final battle is cool. That's another pro for me, is that final battle. It does pay off. It's not even that though. Even that didn't hit all the way. That's the whole thing with this movie, is it just didn't hit like that. And I wish it did. I mean, I'm down to watch it again if we were to do like a full series, or like if the next one comes out, I'm down to rewatch it, but I'm not in any rush to go see it. Final question before we go into spoilers. Well, two. One, do you recommend this movie? You said yes to Transformers fan, but just in general, would you tell somebody, go watch this movie, or is it better just to wait 3 weeks since movies are coming out so quick now? Is it better just to wait a couple weeks?
If you're not a Transformers fan, if you're just someone, I don't know, maybe not. I think because like there's a lot of not a lot, but there are some fan service moments in this movie that it's like, if you know, you know, or not if you know, you know, but like, there are some scenes where like during our theater everyone popped, and I think if you weren't a Transformers fan or didn't really care that much, it would just go over your head.
Now, for Bumblebee, for anybody who's wondering if they need to watch any movies before this or Bumblebee, I mean, you don't have to. You could just completely get it. There's one line that they throw in there for Bumblebee, mentioning Haley Steinfeld from the first one, from Bumblebee, the movie. But I guess now just give it a rating. And you could throw it back to me.
Rating?
1 through 10.
I'll give it
no 0.5s.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. So I don't recommend this movie to someone who I guess hasn't seen it already. Like, if you get to our review, and we're such a small channel, and you just want like more spoiler talk, chances are you've already seen it. You probably fast forwarded to the spoiler chat already.
That's true. Yeah.
If you care enough about our opinions, and you haven't seen this movie, chances are you're not going to watch it anyway. But if you're interested enough, you thought the trailer looked cool, just wait. Again, movies come out so quick now. Wait like 3-4 weeks. Watch it at home, and I'm sure you'll like it more than we did. Well, you're kind of higher on it than I am.
I'm actually surprised that I am, because I wasn't too high on Bumblebee.
Yeah, we didn't think we were going to do one of these, because I mean, we kind of talked about it last week on our Spider-Man review, but I didn't know what your excitement level was.
I wasn't excited at all.
Yeah, and you ended up liking it more than me, and I really was excited, and now I'm a little lower than you were.
You know what's hilarious is that this happened the first time I saw Transformers, the first Transformers that came out in 2008, right?
7.
My sister was so excited to see it. She thought it was going to be like this crazy good movie. So she took me, and I think her husband at the time, or now ex-husband, we went to go see it. And at the end, I'm sorry. I need to start with her taking me and me being like, whatever about it, but I'll go. And after the movie, and when we were all walking out, I was like, dude, this is the greatest movie ever. I loved it. And
yeah, that first one hit. I think we were the right age for it.
Yeah, but my sister was all like, whatever about it. She's like, it's whatever. I don't care.
Wow.
But yeah, so.
The boof. She didn't like the boof.
I guess not. Oh, maybe that's why she wanted to see it, because she was an Even Stevens kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just get back to my rating. I'd give it a 6 out of 10, which is kind of like middle of the road. again, it was enjoyable.
It's fine.
I wasn't bored.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
On our scale.
Yeah.
I'll give it a fine. So 6 out of 10 for me, 7 out of 10 for Jetz. Not too high. I think we'll give it one of these.
You ungrateful sons of bitches, and all I can hear is criticize.
And with that, we are going into our spoiler section. Now, again, if you don't give a shit about this movie and you're going to stick around, or maybe you're planning on getting out at this point, stick around. At least for this first part. Because there is one big thing to spoil. And I didn't know. I don't know if this was already out there. Because my mind was blown. I audibly said, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, tail end of the movie, and we'll talk more about the movie as we go on to the spoiler discussion. But tail end of the movie, Anthony Ramos' character, Noah, I believe is his name. Noah is trying to get a job as a security guard. We see him try to get a job earlier, same position. He goes into a room. He's alone with this dude. And this dude knows everything that he's done. He kind of like sets him up like, oh, tell me about your whatever, your job overseas. And he's kind of setting him up and he's leading like he doesn't know what's going on. But then we quickly see that he knows something. So if you're fans of Transformers or at least these movies, like, I'm not big with the cartoons. I've only seen these movies.
Yeah.
So, and right away I leaned over and told you like, Sector 7. Like, we're introducing Sector 7. Like, I don't know why they're treating like this big reveal. So he gives him a business card and says, all right, your brother who is ill, your brother is going to be fine. He's going to have the best doctors. We could use a guy like you. He I don't know, he like pulls a book or something and the whole wall goes down. Like, all right, I don't know why they're dragging this out. It's Sector 7. And then he like looks and there's this like big like base, this futuristic looking, like there's a ship right there, a Transformer ship. At least I thought it was like a Transformer ship. And then it's like, okay, like what's on the card? Show the card. So he shows the card. And what does it say on it, Jetz?
It says G.I. Joe.
It says G.I. Joe. And we're combining these universes, or is this just to set up like, I don't know, the Hasbro cinematic universe? Where are we going from here?
I don't know. I didn't even.
And do you care?
I'm sorry, I didn't even make that connection that they're both Hasbro toys.
I'm assuming.
No, but that's...
They are, right?
I think so, I guess.
If not Hasbro, then they're setting up, what, the 90s, 80s toys cinematic universe?
Dude, yeah, because Barbie's coming out.
Oh, you think that's connected?
No, because Barbie's Mattel. And
what if at the post-credit scene we see that same guy and he's like Nick Fury?
Dude. That
would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Please.
Now I popped. I'm not I'm not the biggest Transformers fan. I like these movies, sure. I had a lot of hope for this one. G.I. Joe even less. I didn't grow up with G.I. Joe. I don't care about G.I. Joe at all. Those movies that came out with like Marlon Wayans and like,
didn't they just redo it too? Like not too long
ago?
They
did a Snake Eyes movie, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm just not interested at all. But with this, if they're combining it to Transformers,
why not?
Why not?
That sounds fun.
It sounds exciting.
It does.
So you're in?
I am in. Now that I think about it like that.
I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they do something great with it because, like, there's nothing is bigger right now than a multiverse thing,
Well, not a multiverse, but a cinematic universe.
Okay, yeah, cinematic universe.
Yeah, you got to work your way to the multiverse.
That's true.
Which we'll get. Now, the funny thing is that people have always talked about Fast and Furious crossing over with Transformers just because it makes sense.
Yeah.
And somehow we're doing G.I. Joe, which makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down. I'm excited to see where we go from here. I have no idea where we're going to go from here. But if we're going to get more Anthony Ramos, perfect.
I know. I love Anthony Ramos. I will say that
he was one of my pros. I forgot to mention him in spoiler free.
Yeah. He's great.
I want to see him in more. He's going to be in the MCU soon.
He is?
Yeah, he's going to be in Ironheart. He's just like the bad guy. He's playing Hood or the Hood. I'm not too sure.
Oh my goodness. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Ramos. Okay, so that's a big spoiler thing. If you want to stick around, I think it's going to be a shorter one because there's not much to talk about. Again, as we said in the spoiler free section, most of the movie, it's fine, at least in my opinion. I thought it was fine. It's kind of just an excuse to get to that last big action scene. And that's where everything starts going down. And first time I get excited, like actually get like like those like let's go moments. It was finally when all of them are lined up against each other. That works for me no matter what movie. Narnia, Avengers, you name it. Lord of the Rings even. And I always talk shit about Lord of the Rings, but any moment where you have two armies going against each other, it's badass. But we get to that part where the Maximals, I didn't even know, I forgot. Or just didn't even know that they can turn into like a human, not human, but like a humanoid, like, 2 arms, 2 legs, like the cheetah can like turn into like a Autobot looking one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like they transform into the animals. So, like we see them like, and they're all cool. They're all lined up. They all have their weapons. And that's when shit starts going down. And it's insanity from there. We got a bunch of one-shots of action scenes, which we saw in the trailer, and I wish we got longer one-shots, like that scene from the trailer where it starts with Optimus Primal swinging, and then I even said in the trailer, I was like, I hope that shot is longer, and it wasn't. They gave us the whole shot in the trailer, but a lot of shit goes down. We get Mirage, which is Pete Davidson's character. We get Mirage fusing, Dragon Ball Z fusing with Anthony Ramos. And he completely looks like a G.I. Joe character now. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's the connection point right there. But we essentially already seen that G.I. Joe / Transformers crossover right there. Mm-hmm. With him in the armor, him and Optimus Prime teaming up right there. You have any thoughts on any of this?
I thought that was actually really cool. I think that might have been my favorite part, actually. To see that it actually could happen.
Did it work for you? Like,
it kind of did. But at the moment, I was kind of thinking like, man, Shia LaBeouf couldn't do this. But I get like it's Bumblebee. It's a different car.
They didn't have the budget.
They didn't have
No, they probably did.
They did. They just used it all on the
explosions.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, on explosions.
All the fireworks.
The fireworks.
You have any other moments to talk about?
The little brother. What did you think about the whole plot?
The relationship with them?
Yeah, or like just having that included.
That's the thing. Like that kind of worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little cheesy with the whole like, I'm coming after you. I get it. He's a little kid and he's protecting his brother, but the whole, if anything happens to him, I'm coming for you next. I guess it's supposed to be lame, but the relationship, I thought was okay. But then at the end, when he's helping him, come up, that kind of worked for me. So that was the payoff that I needed. And then Mirage was protecting him right there, taking the shots for him, and then that's when they Dragon Ball Z fused.
Mm-hmm.
And I popped for that.
Yeah, that was really.
I didn't think I would. I thought it was lame when Mark Wahlberg was like the last night in. See, I don't even know if you remember, but Mark Wahlberg like had like a sword, and he was like, it was dumb. Let's just not talk about those.
Hey, I'm not the one bringing it
I
up.
know, but I'm just comparing it. This one worked because they went all the way. Like, we were gonna do something dumb. Let's go all the way. And this guy's fighting with Optimus Prime, and that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. What did you think about their story about how Optimus couldn't trust humans and he and Noah was being selfish, kind of proving Optimus Prime right.
Mm-hmm.
And Noah was like that little rivalry that they had. Did that do anything for you?
I did think it was kind of weird. I did think Optimus Prime, his whole arc in this was kind of, he wasn't as strong of a leader. And they even, I guess there was that one.
He was just depressed.
Yeah, he was just depressed. And then there was that one scene where Optimus Primal and Air Razor, they're like meeting him for the first time. And they're just like, is this your king to each other?
Is this your king?
And
yeah, he's like, he's not what I thought he would be or something like that.
That's messed up.
And I wish they went a little further.
Yeah.
I wish they would have went a little further with that rivalry between them. And I think that's what would have made the movie better.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in there and they cut it. Or, maybe I'm just making shit up right now. But I wanted more there. Mm-hmm. That way when we finally get to that point with them two facing off, or when Anthony Ramos is going to blow up the key, that way, they're fine. But it's going to... The Autobots need the key to go home. And they're stranded there because Optimus Prime brought them there, and they've been stuck there for 7 years. Now, if Unicron, the giant planet-eating transformer, Decepticon, I don't know what it is.
I forgot what they called it. They called it something.
But I don't know what allegiance he's on, but whatever. He needs it to eat planets. It's all bullshit. But it gets to the point where Anthony Ramos needs to blow up the key.
Yeah.
And that moment is they tease it earlier that he's gonna do that, and then Optimus Prime comes out of nowhere and sees that he's gonna do it, and he's just like, no, I don't do it. And then he's just like, all right, I won't do it. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish there was something more there. Yeah. And because it's not, that's why this doesn't hit for me. Mm-hmm. And you can easily just say, well, it's a Transformers movie. Well, see, that's the point. It's like,
no, these need to be better.
I don't know if they need to be better. Maybe I just need to temper my expectations. But I guess, yeah. I figured new director, new team, it would be better. And to be fair, it is better than maybe like 3 or 4 of the Transformers movies. I get into a ranking after this if you want. If you guys want. I don't even know where I would be, because Bumblebee I used to rank number 1, and I don't even remember it that much anymore. Do you remember it?
Not really. I just remember some of the beginning. Like, I don't remember what the problem is, what the conflict was. And then I just remember Optimus Prime at the end showing up.
Maybe. Anything about the Maximals? They do anything for you?
Not really.
Besides, like, again, like Air Razor, the Michelle Yeoh character had a little bit to do, and then she turns evil due to like the main bad guy, which we haven't even talked about him. Yeah. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Skullfuck.
Dr. Fuck.
Dr. Fuck.
My one thing I will say about, but of course it's a movie, who cares? I didn't like how in the beginning they were all speaking English to each other. It's just that thing.
Who?
The robots.
That's just a Transformers thing.
I know, but I just wish it would be cool if we could just hear them speak in alien language.
Speaking dubstep?
Yes.
Wah, wah.
Speaking Skrillex.
So what do you think about the main bad guy, Scourge? Who, fun fact, is played by Peter Dinklage.
I thought that was so insane to find that out. Good for him, because I love him. Kind of forgettable, I will say.
Yeah, and he kills Optimus Primal's like other gorilla friend, and he kills Bumblebee for a moment. Oh, that's where we got to go next, is the Bumblebee talk. But let's just finish here. He kills Bumblebee for a moment, and then he just kind of dies by Optimus Prime really quick. I wanted it to be a badass fight. Optimus Prime he's back. He's finally, because they're talking shit about him the whole movie. Everybody's talking shit. Oh, he's not what he used to be. I want Optimus Prime to have this moment where, like, I'm back, and then kill him pretty badass. He does kill him. It's kind of cool, but again, that's just my thoughts on the whole movie. Like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I did think it was cool that he was collecting all the little things from them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he was just having them on his sleeve.
And that was cool. Crazy. Now, he was a little scary in the beginning, how they, like, those shots of him in the forest, and you could kind of, like, just see the lights of his face. Mm-hmm. And just overall, this movie had a little bit more of a horror vibe, like those little ones that were chasing them inside the museum.
Yeah, those are creepy.
And in the, like, the tunnels underneath. So I don't know if this director has any history with horror, but it looked pretty cool. And finally, last thing we'll talk about is probably the best moment. Now, you said that our theater popped at a different scene. I don't remember our theater popping except for one scene.
For that one, for him coming back.
Okay, that's the one you were talking about?
That's the scene I was talking about.
That scene was badass.
It was.
Now, I one thing about this movie that I was going to compliment it about was how there were stakes. Like, I thought Bumblebee was dead. And then as they started carrying his body around, I was like, all right, he's not dead. And then Mirage, I thought he was dead. And then he comes back. And then Optimus Prime at the end, when he's going to sacrifice himself, I thought he was dead. And then I was like, all right. So nothing matters. But
yeah, no, nothing. I honestly didn't believe anyone was going to die since Bumblebee has already died and came back 10 times?
And they even set it up. They said that all he needs is some energon. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I thought maybe it would be like set up for like the next movie. I completely forgot in the trailer that he's in the final battle. But he comes back. He's on like the stone table, like some Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe shit. He's on like a stone table, and Energon Field comes through a portal, brings him back to life, and just quickly he's just in the fight now. That old jet transformer takes him, or plane, not even a jet, but the old like plane one, World War II. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it takes him, and then it plays. What song does it play? Oh, Mama said knock you out.
Oh yeah.
Mama said knock, and that's another thing. Real quick, I'll get back to the Bumblebee scene, but overall, the music just the choices they don't
too
work.
Generic.
They just don't work.
No, they don't.
Like, and the whole movie wants to remind you that it takes place
in 94.
Is it 94?
That's what it said in the beginning.
I didn't know which year, but it just wants to remind you like which era it takes place in, with all the references and the Sonic and Tails thing. And once you see a movie, like last week we just saw Spider-Verse, and the way that they use music there is incredible. It enhances the story. Where this one, they're just there. Like they just licensed the music and used it.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I wish they used a different song for this. But with that being said, it was still cool to see Bumblebee jump out of that plane. Bumblebee is back. Mama said knock you out is playing. And this dude just kicking ass. Mm-hmm. And the theater actually popped when the cargo plane, whatever, it opens up and Bumblebee's right there. The theater actually popped. It was a small pop, but it was there. It was probably the only one the whole time.
For a Friday night premiere for a bunch of casuals, or I guess for a movie franchise that isn't even that big, I will say
people care about Bumblebee. And when I thought he died, I figured like, okay, we're moving on to Mirage. And then Mirage died, so like, are we going back to Bumblebee? But everybody's back, so
who cares?
Who cares? So those are our spoiler-filled thoughts on Transformers Rise of the Beast. Have you seen it? Comment below. Do you care about G.I. Joe / Transformers crossovers? Let us know. If you like this video, let us know by hitting like, hit subscribe, share with your friends, follow us on socials. Everything's going to be in the description. Until next time.
Woo.
Sayonara.
Bye.
You ungrateful sons of bitches, and all I can hear is criticize, criticize, criticize.